So, Emma, thank you for your chat. I guess what I'm looking to explore with you today is what kind of hypnotic inductions do you utilize with your clients? Because we know that you see a vast majority of your clients online.
Yep.
What do you tend to use as a hypnotic induction when you're sitting down with your clients?
So there's a few. So it depends on what it is. So if I see a lot of my clients online, and I do 2 different ones online. First one it's an induction that I learned from Shane Fozzard, and it's just literally relaxing every muscle in your body, and then you're going into a deep forest. If I've got people who are really in their head, often that hypnotic induction is too long and they're already thinking about dinner and will this work?
Yep.
So the second one I do online is I get them to think about a color. So I'm really distracting them as much as I can. So I get them to have a color, a feeling, all sorts of things that comes from the top of the head, and I kind of go down the front of the body, underneath the feet, concentrate on the feet. Our feet really take us on our travels, and then I come up the back of the body, and they breathe in 3 times. I can take you through it if you want to, and then there's that. Or so there's a third one I do with the ones who are really analytical. They're usually hypnotherapists.
That isn't it?
Yeah, it's true. Usually the hypnotherapists, and I'll say to them, tighten, loosen, tighten, loosen, tighten, loosen. They're hot, like body parts, and I go, you're a bird up, overlooking the world. Now you're a fish in the sea. And I kind of confuse them. And then what I'll say to them all the time, your job as to do this is to try and mess this up. Just try and mess it up. Try and not to be relaxed. Try not to be relaxed. So they try, the word try, you're cancelling out.
Yep.
So they literally just go, it's just too much. It's too confusing. It's like, let's just go with it.
So
and that's
confusion.
Yeah, that's easy. When they're one-to-one in my rooms, I will do the drop arm technique. I touch them here and drop their arms. I'll do that. Or if they're really into meditation, I will do the long one that I got from Shane Fozzard. So it just depends.
Yeah.
How I deciphered that is I asked them, have you been in hypnosis before?
Yep.
Yes, it didn't really work. What part of it do you think didn't work? He was talking or she was talking a lot, and my mind was wandering, right, okay, no long induction. Let's get to it.
That's the thing. I imagine if you can identify that they are quite analytical in their approach, then you are potentially going to want to use something that's going to cause confusion just to try to overload that analytical mind, or alternatively to bore the analytical mind so that it just...
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. A great way of finding out also, for a really good top tip, is the people who are very visual, when you ask them a question, they'll look up to look for their question. The analytical ones will look side to side. And your kinesthetic ones, your ones that are really feely, they'll want to look down. So the ones who look side to side, they're the ones you want to get in there very fast.
Yeah. I remember when I did some training with Michael Yapko once, and he was talking about the clients who want to be controlled and the clients who want to retain control as well, which was an interesting thing to look out for. So if they wanted to be in control, then you would use quite a soft, permissive approach, and perhaps something again like Rob McNeely will talk about utilizing likes and tapping into something you like doing. Whereas if they like to be told what to do, then obviously a more direct approach would be beneficial there as well.
Yeah, and there's another approach I do as well, which I started probably about 4 years ago. I don't do the normal hypnotic voice anymore.
Mm-hmm.
I have Puss Tit.
I know, he looks really good on the black.
I actually talk like I'm talking to a 4-year-old, because the unconscious mind's like a 4-year-old, right? It's like a child. And I talk and then we go to this magical forest, and I do this instead of talking in that hypnotic voice. I do that now, and I find especially men who are analytical, they love that. I think it lulls them back into childhood. I'm not sure, especially if it wasn't traumatic. they love that. So I do it in a kind of sing-songing sort of voice.
I even think that meditation we recorded together for children, you were talking then about fish and birds and everything as well. Is that a reference back to that one you're talking about?
Confuses them.
Yeah. So maybe people watching this should go and have a listen to that and hear.
Yeah. We can share it. Yeah. So I do all my hypnosis now in a very, like, I'm talking I'm reading a child book story. I'll even put voices in and everything, and they love it. Another thing when you're setting up, it's all in the pre-frame. So one of the greatest pre-frames you can use is this. I know you've probably tried this before, but I'm glad you're here because what I do is very, very different. So I pre-frame all my clients and they go, really? I go, yeah, very different. And they go, oh, okay. So you've got to find what you'll pre-frame your client, because you've got to sit there and go, hey, look, this might work for you or may not. They're going to go, what do you mean this may work for me or may not? So what I say is this, what I do is very different, and what will happen is you'll go into a deep sense of just letting go.
Yeah.
Because some people hate the word relaxation. It's like a job to, I have to relax. What does that even look like?
Just a subtle note, I like the audio marking you did there as well, by the way.
Yeah, pre-framing your client. So in pre-framing your client, set yourself up for success. Tell them this is going to work. It's going to be very different to probably anything you've ever done before. And we've got to go straight in the unconscious mind very quickly. And all you need to do is one job, just let go.
I think this is the important thing as well, is that people, and I'm sure everyone watching this knows this, but hypnosis doesn't start from the induction. It starts way before that. And
on the phone call.
Yeah, I've been to so many different trainings where they will, if you ask them what is the most important part of this process, they will tell you that the pre-frame or the pre-talk is vitally important.
You've got two things that really you need to be an absolute expert in as a hypnotherapist or any kind of practitioner. You need to be an expert in rapport, building rapport, and an expert in pre-framing. Because you can be the best hypnotherapist in the world. If you're not in rapport with that person, nothing's going to happen. You can be the best hypnotherapist and the best person for rapport. If your pre-frame's off, nothing's going to happen because you're setting yourself up. It's like when I do online work, I've got a dog. The dog's underneath here and he'll bark or whatever. I set it up. I say, if you actually hear a dog barking, you're actually lucky because my dog's an energy dog. And if you hear him bark, you'll actually go deeper and deeper and get even more of a shift, which is kind of lucky. You're lucky if he does. And they're like, really? I mean, it's a heap of shit, but you just
well, you're building it
up.
So what we'll do then is obviously we can include the meditation that we recorded recently. People can listen to that. I think what people also need to realize is that in terms of online, I think the fear is that when you're in a room with someone, you can reach over, you can grab the hand, you can do all that sort of stuff. You can't do that when it's online. However, if you're planning to do hypnosis recordings or something on those lines, you're going to need to think not only a step back from that as well, in the sense that we're doing kind of through a camera here. If you're going to do hypnosis recordings, you're going to have to think about what that potential person listening to it might be experiencing. So I think if people can have a listen to your recording and take away from that what they might be able to utilize as well, that would be brilliant.
Yeah, and it's just all setting it up for success. And so many hypnotherapists have a massive fear about doing things online. To be honest, when you do hypnosis online, it's actually easier as a hypnotherapist. And I'll tell you why, because they are already anchored to being comfortable in their own house.
Yeah.
So most of them will actually lay in bed or sit up in bed. It's weird, but they sit in bed. I think it's probably because they can close the door. The kids aren't annoying them. They can lock the dog and the cat out. And they're already they're already anchored to going, I'm relaxed in here. They haven't had to get into a car. They haven't had to find a park. They don't have to say, oh, how long have I got? It actually sets you up more for success. I love it. You just got to set it up that you can see them. It's like, so they've got a phone where they can sit it. A great top tip is, you've got a tissue box. Where's my phone? Oh, hang on. So what you do is, if they sit their phone like that, that's their camera, and they can sit the tissue box there, you can see them on your screen.
Yeah. And can they see you well enough as well?
They don't need to. They've got their eyes closed.
That's important. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So they can sit there on their phone and look at me first, and then I can go, okay, you ready? Put yourself in your tissue box. Put yourself there so I can see. I just need to see your camera. Yep, that's perfect. You just relax now and let's go.
Do you have Emma Romano promotional therapy tissues that you can send out?
Now that's a thought. An entrepreneurial side of me now.
You can brand them, send them out as a welcome new client you're going to need.
I would put flamingos all over them.
Yep.